One of the things my wife always says, in life you can be a great example or you can be a horrible warning. And both work as a parent. Kids see their mom and dad as great examples. Or maybe the family's a little chaotic and the kids look at it and go, I'm not going to be that. Be a great example or a horrible warning. Preferably a great example, but both work. Russell Westbrook has obviously, since the divorce from Kevin Durant, eroded. He's not the same player. Durant has flourished. Westbrook has eroded. But Russell Westbrook is also a horrible warning. If you draft and build around a highly athletic point guard that's a below-average shooter, Derrick Rose, John Wall, Westbrook, now 3 examples. You will not be a playoff contender. It is now a shooter's league. Less athletic point guards that can shoot, Kyrie Irving has never lost a first-round playoff series. Steph Curry and James Harden are now growing and flourishing. Sports gives you great examples and horrible warnings. We now have 3 hyper-athletic point guards that teams in the media fell in love with. Wall, Rose, and Westbrook. And it doesn't work. Super athletes. We now have 3 point guards that aren't as athletic. Harden, Steph, and Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie's now something like, 16-0 in the first round. Listen, this year, Westbrook shot 31% on jumpers. Harden shot 40%. Lillard shot 40%. And Curry shot 44%. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. If you're a GM, if you're an executive, you're a coach who has GM powers, if you fall for the highly athletic point guard who can't shoot, then it's on you. From time to time, I'll speak to young broadcasters and young journalism students. And one of the messages I always say is, just pay attention. 20 years ago, newspapers died. Don't go into newspapers. 10 years ago, magazines died. Get rid of that idea. And today, websites are dying. Don't go out and spend all your money on a website. Think about a podcast. Think about audio. Think about TV. Think about play-by-play. Think about... Life will tell you which direction to go. Lose your ego. Pay attention. Like Westbrook is really actually a great warning going ahead. He'll give you highlights. He can give you some awards. He can sell tickets and merchandise. He's fun to watch. I'll be watching that game tonight. I watch a lot of Westbrook. But if you want to win in the playoffs in an increasingly shooters-driven league, the answer is scale back a little bit on the athleticism. Don't pass on a guy in the draft because he's not quite athletic enough. Kyrie, Steph, James Harden. Because it's a shooter's league. And you've got now multiple examples over and over of what works and what doesn't. Okay? This is be a great example or a horrible warning. My guess tonight is Portland wins the series simply because they've got more shot makers. They don't have the best athletic roster. They got the second best Curry. Damian Lillard never gets talked about as an elite point guard. CJ McCollum, I think, is a really good shooter, but not much else. Doesn't play any defense. They got shot makers. That's what Portland has. The athletes, some size. That's Oklahoma City. The guys that can hit 16-footers and 21-footers, that's Portland. I think they'll win tonight. It feels like, to me, 2 things feel like they've happened with the Lakers. They've become a mom-and-pop organization in an incredibly corporate, sophisticated, analytical world in the NBA. The league is very sophisticated, and they feel mom-and-pop-ish. They do not have an elite owner, an elite analytics department. They don't have a coach. They don't have an elite roster. I do not believe they have an elite front office. I'm not taking shots. It's just you compare them to Golden State, where do they win? Players, front office, analytics, owner, no. You can stack them up against Toronto. Where do they win? Owner, analytics, GM, players, no. Now, I think the Lakers have moved into Hail Mary category. Hail Marys are occasionally successful, so are onside kicks. I think it really comes down to this. I think the next 5 years for the Los Angeles Lakers and their franchise going forward come down to 1 week. And that's as soon as the season ends, there's a dead week, and then July 1st, it's free agents. And I think this is their Hail Mary. You trade everything to get Anthony Davis. I don't think he works necessarily that well with LeBron, but he's a hell of a player. So you trade everything to get Anthony Davis. He's represented by Clutch Sports. They'll probably help lean him into the Lakers. So you'll have LeBron and Anthony Davis. And then you cross your fingers on Jimmy Butler. If Philadelphia loses to Toronto in the next round, and it's going to be a heck of a series, I get the people who like Toronto. I like Philly, but I get the Toronto. They play real good defense. They've got tremendous chemistry. They got a little more momentum here. And then Jimmy Butler's unhappy. They decide he's a little disgruntled. Simmons doesn't like him, and they move him. Jimmy Butler loves L.A. He's made no secret of that. He likes L.A. That's your Hail Mary. Trade everything. Just give the Pelicans more than everybody else will for Anthony Davis. Just say, here's Kuzma, here's Ingram, here's Lonzo, here's just boom. And then you have LeBron, Anthony Davis, and you cross your fingers on Jimmy Butler. By the way, I don't think this is like a 10% chance or a 20% chance. I think you're in the 50% category here. I don't think this is crazy talk. I think Butler likes Los Angeles. I think his game actually works with LeBron. I think he'd stay in line with LeBron a little bit. I do. Anthony Davis isn't perfect with LeBron, but he's going to give you 24 and 10, 24 and 12. He's a good player. And he's a thoughtful player. I mean, he's a guy who doesn't need a lot of attention. You know, he doesn't have a problem with LeBron getting love and Butler getting love. Anthony likes to play hoops. He likes to win games. He'll give you 23-12. I think he's a good kid. I don't think he's a great leader. I think sometimes he's a tad soft, doesn't play with injuries much. But if Kevin Durant left Golden State, and next year I said, well, this one team's got Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Jimmy Butler. That sounds like it's pretty good. That's a pretty good team. That's better than LeBron, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, and a bunch of nothing. So I kind of feel like right now, if you're a Laker fan, and ownership, front office, analytics roster, they don't really stack up. But I don't think it's a crazy Hail Mary. This is a Hail Mary when you have 2 6'7" wide receivers in the end zone and they have small corners. It's not a terrible Hail Mary, and I think that's where we're at right now. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.